You an animal lover?
Yeah, let's just hear about it.
So 3 quick questions. You want to do it?
Sure.
Okay. First question is the obvious one. Are you an animal lover and why?
The reason why I'm an animal lover is because I just love the way that like a lot of animals can be so friendly, like towards humans and stuff like that. And like, say for example, because I have a dog, you know, like she'll be so friendly and all that there, and she'll give you like a her face when she wants to go for a walk. She'll like just sit there and look at you.
I have a boy at home and he's exactly the same. I just love him to bits. So yeah, they're innocent but they're smart as well. Yeah, so that makes sense. Yeah.
They are very smart.
Second question is, what do you think of animal abuse and people who abuse animals?
I think people who abuse animals are very cruel people, because like, when you buy an animal, you're meant to look after the animal and you're meant to like care for the animal. And if you're just buying it, like, you know, just to abuse it, then what's the point in you know, going out and getting it? Because like an animal is someone that's like, because sometimes like an animal
Can I just interrupt? I like the way you said someone there and not something, because I think they are someone. So I like your language there.
Because like the dog or the cat or whatever it may be, right? It's like that their animal usually becomes a part of the family. So it does. And when like you abuse the animal for like doing small things, like say for example if it's not being trained to like go and do its business or something, you can't shout at it because like it doesn't know how to do it. It has to be taught to do it. It's like a toddler.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know if you were aware, recently 2 or 3 months ago, Kurt Zuma, the footballer, kicking his cat and then posting it online. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
And everybody was up in arms about it. So people doing, you would agree that people doing things like that's absolutely terrible, yeah?
Jeepers, I didn't know that there. Like, I don't understand why people like think it's okay to do it when it's not. Like, you know, even like posting it online, like, you know, you have so many people going, oh, this is so funny, this is really funny, but like it's not. Look at it from like the animal's perspective, because
exactly, look at it from that. That's where I always come from. Look at it from the victim's perspective. Third question is trickier and it doesn't come with judgment, so answer it how you wish. Do you pay for people to abuse animals in any way, in a way that you're probably not thinking about or have been taught not to think about? And by that I mean meat, dairy, eggs, leather, zoos, animal testing, those types of things. And no judgment, honestly, because I used to pay for it too. I just know better now. What do you think of that?
Well, I you know, like,
be completely honest, by the way, I'm not judging.
Well, like for me, like most likely my parents probably like do buy like the food, like animal products from you know, like places that like where animals are treated like fairly and have a well, like, you know, life and all that there. For me, like, if an animal is treated like fairly and is like has a full life, when it is eventually time for it to, you know, I think if it's done humanely and if it's done like humanely, then go ahead. But if it's not, then it needs to be stopped, because it in my opinion, it's wrong.
Okay. Can I say something and then ask you another question?
Sure.
So, first of all, none of the animals in those agricultures get a full life. They're all killed at a very young age. Chickens are killed at 6 months old, or 48 days, the ones we eat. Mm-hmm. The ones that lay eggs are killed about 18 months. Lamb is killed at 16 weeks old. Pigs are killed at 6 months old. Beef cattle are killed at 18 months, maybe 12 months now, depending on how quickly they... So they're all killed at a young age. And the second thing is humane slaughter, like you mentioned there. So we're all taught that something humane happens in a slaughterhouse. What does the word humane mean? It means benevolence. It means to care for somebody, be kind. Slaughter means to kill somebody in a violent fashion. So that's an oxymoron that you were taught when you were young, like I was taught as well. It doesn't make any sense. And the question is, how would you humanely kill somebody that doesn't want to die?
That's true. Like, you know, like a lot of like activists will say, like, you know, they don't give consent and all that there, but I don't think like there's like is any like kind of humanely way of doing it, you know. Like, I think like for us humans, like, because as as we are like atop the food chain, there's not really a humanely way of doing it, like, because it's like, you know, it's for me, like, I'm not like really dead sure, because I think there will never be like a humanely way to do it.
There's not a humane way to do it, but we're all taught when we're young. So you're taught when you're young to draw an arbitrary line. You love cats and dogs and horses and dolphins, and if somebody shoots Harambe, you're supposed to get upset. Somebody shoots a lion, let's get upset. But these other animals, the ones we're taught that there's a necessity to eating them, which there's not. Well, you're taught not to think about that at all. But there is no necessity involved. You can survive and thrive on a plant-based diet. The science tells us now that it's suitable for all stages of human development. So if there's no necessity involved, then what's the justification for taking animals into slaughterhouses and taking their lives from them? And even if they're taught, even if they're raised in the nicest farm and they get belly rubs and tickles every single day, at a very young age they're loaded onto a truck and taken to somewhere where they get shot in the head and hung upside down to have their throats cut. And I think that's wrong when there's no necessity. What do you think of that?
Well, I think like doing it in that way is very, and like it's very cruel and it's very sick. I think it needs to be done in a way that's not like that. You know, something like way that like where the animals like do not feel pain or like is not being tortured by that pain. Because I think doing it that way is like it's very sick and it's very cruel and twisted.
Well, let me tell you what the most humane method is, according to the industry, is, would you believe that we throw pigs in the gas chambers? What do you think of that?
For me, I think that's no.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get something into your head that there's no humane way to how would I humanely kill you? If you don't want your life to be taken away from you, how would I humanely kill you? Euthanasia is a different thing. If you were suffering, or if your dog was suffering, you would probably have your dog euthanized and you'd be really sad about it. But that's a completely different thing. These animals want to live their lives, they want peace. Somebody coming at you with a knife or putting you into a gas chamber is one of the most terrifying things that could ever happen to you. So I'm an animal rights activist and I've been to the slaughterhouses. There's 2 pig slaughterhouses in Northern Ireland. There's one in Ballymena called Cranswick and there's one in Cookstown called Carroll Foods. And between them they gas 7,000 pigs every single day. A day. So they load them into it's like a gondola with cages in it. They put 3 or 4 into a cage and they drop them down into carbon dioxide. So it's not even gas, it's suffocation. It's a real cheap aversive gas. So they suffocate until they're unconscious. Man, the screams of those animals. And this is the industry's most humane fashion. I've stood and listened to them screaming, man, and you would not wish that on your worst enemy. It's absolutely horrendous. So my thinking is, if you can eat a plant-based sausage instead, or you can buy these shoes, all super dry shoes are now vegan, or you can buy vegan bacon and vegan cheese, which is now really good, and vegan ice cream and vegan pizza and vegan everything. Well then, why, you would never do those things to an animal yourself, so then, and this sounds judgmental, but it's really just a question, why then are we paying other people, or why are we paying other people to do things to those animals you would never do yourself?
I don't really know, I think it's really there's a lot of opinions, so oh, I want to eat meat, because I like it, because I've been eating them my whole life. For me, if we were to go to a whole full on vegan and stuff, I've tried a lot of those are vegan burgers and stuff, and I'm you know what, there's not actually any difference. It tastes the same. I wouldn't mind seeing some of that. They do something like that there,
So they cost pretty much the same. 6 Linda McCartney sausages is £2. So people think vegan diet's dear. It's like everything else. You can buy really dear ones or you can buy really cheap ones, but it's the same price as I was going to say a normal diet. An omnivorous diet, it's the same price. There's alternatives for everything. I just don't see what the justification is. The justification might be necessity if human beings had to eat animals to survive, but we absolutely don't. And the things I'm maybe saying to you might sound judgmental. I'm genuinely not judging you, man, because up until I was a certain age, I thought I had to eat chicken and I had to drink milk for calcium and eat protein from meat, and you just don't. You can get it all from plants. Anything you can get from, where do the animals get it from, for a start? I mean, cows are 700 kilograms. What do they eat? They eat grass, so no protein problems. Silverback gorillas are 300 kilograms, some of them. They eat bamboo and they eat leaves. So if they get enough protein, we can get it too from plants. So it seems to me like a kinder way. And I'm just that's why I'm out here today. I'm trying to make people think. And okay, the third question question as a bit of a bomb drop on most people, but I think people with a good heart like yourself who genuinely loves animals might just consider that I'm not cool with pigs being thrown into gas chambers, and I'm not cool with cows. Man, cows are the most innocent animals in the world. I don't know if you ever spent time with or been around them. They're so innocent and gentle animals, and to line them up and shoot them in the head and turn them upside down and cut their throat for a frivolous taste experience that lasts 5 minutes when you can eat a vegan burger instead. Does that make sense?
Like, you know, like, it's just like, you only get like a few seconds out of it, like, you know what I mean? But like, I think if, like, eventually we do go to like a whole thing like vegan and all that there, I think we'll notice it, like, you know what I mean? Because it's like when you, like, say for example, if you go into like Burger King or whatever and they have that their like vegan burger, like I've tried it and I'm like, so, am I sure that's like a vegan burger? Because it tastes the same.
McDonald's have a McPlant which tastes the same. Apparently, I haven't tried it, but apparently it tastes exactly the same. KFC have vegan chicken nuggets, which I have been told by numerous people, I haven't tried them, are better than the normal ones. Nero and Starbucks all do. Nero coffee shop do about 10 different vegan things, plus your plant milks, your oat milk and coffee taste probably better than dairy milk and coffee. So again, I'm back to where do we get the justification? You know, you're talking about a 5-minute tasting session that lasts no time whatsoever, but that's an animal's entire life. And even, like I say, they've been treated really, really well on the best farm imaginable, which is rarely the case, because I go on the farms and I see how the animals are treated. And I'm not saying farmers are deliberately bad to them, but it's a money-making exercise at the end of the day, so the standards are bare minimum to get them growing up and away to the slaughterhouse. I just don't see the justification for it, and maybe it's the first time somebody's given you this information or asked you these questions, but I am so glad, man, that you came to me today and took it in. You seem like a good guy, so what are your final thoughts on that?
I think my final thoughts are like actually I kind of want to turn like around like and like try more vegan stuff, you know, just like kind of like think more about like where like my like products are coming from and stuff like that there.
Exactly. Can I give you a wee card? Yeah. 1 wee sec. So I've actually new cards ordered, so this is the last of my old ones, but there's pretty much the same thing. So I have Instagram and YouTube. I'm not looking for subs or anything, but see, so these are resources to watch. The bottom ones are all on Netflix. Yeah. So about how the oceans are being destroyed by fishing. The Cowspiracy is about the environment and how animal agriculture is destroying and decimating the environment and global warming as well. But the top one here, the best speech you'll ever hear, it's a guy called Gary Yourofsky. Free to watch on YouTube. It's 40 minutes long. Brilliant speaker. Somebody sent it to me and I thought, I'll not watch a speech on YouTube, this will be boring. And 5 minutes in, I was hooked. And it is literally the best speech you'll ever hear. And it changed my life, man. So sometime you're bored at home and you have nothing to do, click it on and see what you think. And if I've pushed you a little bit down the road towards living a cruelty-free lifestyle, that guy will push you right down the road, because he is absolutely unbelievable.
Well, like, I'll give it a go. I'll look at them and all that.
I'm not expecting somebody to say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go vegan on the spot." You've lived a lifetime of eating animal products, as is I, and it's a journey for some people. And as long as at the end of the journey, I think I don't really encourage baby steps and 1 day a week and all that stuff, because you wouldn't do that with another injustice. Yeah. You wouldn't be racist or like racist-free Monday or abuse-free Monday. You would just stop it. So I'm not saying you go vegan overnight, but 2 or 3 weeks, man, gen yourself up a wee bit and see how you go.
Yeah, I'll give it a go, see what happens, you know, man.
What's your name?
My name's Sean.
Sean, I'm Cliff. Thank you so much for stopping, man.
You're welcome.
Check that wee speech out when you get home, or tomorrow morning if you're hungover or something, flick it on and see how you go. Yeah. And have a great weekend.
You too.
All right, bud.